Before we start this episode, here's a quick preview of what's coming. Otto's Tales celebrates America's amazing monuments, traditions, folk tales, and everyday community heroes. Enjoy more free videos like this for kids of all ages. Subscribe at PragerUkids.com. Welcome to Otto's Tales, story time brought to you by PragerU Kids. I'm Jill, and today we're going on another adventure. Otto! Otto, come here. Is that cat food? But you don't eat cat food. You have a new friend! Oh, I love it! And this is her lunch? And you're trying to find her, but you can't find her anywhere? Oh my goodness. Well, listen, I'm sorry to hold you up. Please go find her. She's probably really hungry. Good luck! I hope he finds her. I wonder where she is. Let's read Otto's Tales. Let's visit the Statue of Liberty. It was a beautiful weekend. The sun was shining, the wildflowers were blooming, and Otto the bulldog couldn't wait to go outside with his best friend Dennis. "Ruff, ruff!" Otto exclaimed, galloping into Dennis's room. "Let's go play tag!" Dennis sat at his desk with a library book. Scattered papers, notes, and drawings surrounded him. "I'm sorry, Otto," Dennis looked up. "I would love to play tag, but I'm researching the Statue of Liberty for our road trip." Dennis's dad had promised to take the family on a big road trip over the summer. It was up to Dennis to discover the places he'd like to visit and give a report to his parents to help decide where their family should go. Dennis wanted to see the Statue of Liberty. "I should have checked out more books from the library," Dennis sighed. "There aren't many pictures in this one." Otto wanted to cheer Dennis up, so he pounced down to the kitchen to get him a snack. The pantry door was wide open, and Otto had a feeling he knew who was inside. A teeny tiny kitten with a great big appetite. "Smidge!" Otto barked. Smidge lived in the neighborhood. She and Otto were great friends. "Otto, you scared me!" Smidge's fur puffed in crazy directions, which happened whenever she got excited. "I came by for snacks. Your family always has the best treats. I thought you would be outside, playing tag with Dennis." "Dennis is busy learning about the Statue of Liberty," Otto explained, "but he needs more pictures." "I know how we can help." Smidge's tail fluffed up in excitement. "Go grab Dennis's notes and the camera he got for his birthday. I'll grab snacks. Meet me at the train station." "Train ride for 2!" Smidge gave the conductor tickets, and she and Otto found seats by a window. The train whistled and zoom! It was out of the station and on the tracks towards New York City. Otto pulled out Dennis's notes. Smidge pulled out a bag of cookies. "According to these," Otto said, "the Statue of Liberty was a gift from France to the United States of America for its 100th birthday." "Wow, that is a nice gift!" Smidge leaned over, crumbs tumbling out of her mouth. "I want to invite France to my next birthday party." "It was Edouard de la Boulée's idea to make the statue," Otto continued. "He was a French historian and poet who was inspired by America's freedom." "Freedom! That's another word for liberty." Smidge held up a penny. "Just like it says on this coin." "And just like that penny, the Statue of Liberty is made out of copper," Otto reminded her. "That's how it got its color. It used to be brown, too, but after so many years, the copper turned green. Say, why do you have so many coins?" "I need more snacks from the dining car." Smidge scooped up the pile of coins. "Dennis's notes say that the statue is 151 feet tall, and we're gonna get really hungry if we have to climb that high." Smidge scampered to the dining car. Otto kept reading Dennis's notes all the way to New York City. With a swoosh and a stop, Otto and Smidge arrived and hopped onto a ferry to glide across New York Harbor to Liberty Island. "Dennis is gonna love this!" Otto snapped pictures as fast as he could. Smidge smacked on fruit snacks. Lady Liberty is so tall! Otto's head tilted all the way up to the sky. He couldn't believe his eyes. Click, click. He started taking as many pictures as he could. I bet you can see her for miles and miles! Smidge hopped up and down, fruit snacks flying everywhere. The ferry captain smiled at the friends. You two are very smart. The Statue of Liberty was one of the first things that immigrants saw when they arrived in America and landed at Ellis Island over there. Many of them were fleeing strict governments, and they were so happy to come to our country, a place that celebrates freedom. What a proud sight, Otto shouted. The statue was unlike anything he'd ever seen. So inspiring, Smidge agreed. She looks like a queen with that crown on her head. And look at that bright torch. I wonder what it's made of. And what is she holding in her other arm? It looks like a book. It sounds like you need a closer look, the ferry captain said. I'll take you to Liberty Island. Look for Mr. Ratton by Lady Liberty's feet. He's an excellent tour guide. Thank you, Captain! At the foot of the statue, between two of her giant toes, Otto and Smidge found Mr. Ratton. Click, click. Otto couldn't help taking more pictures. Lady Liberty's copper feet were so big. Smidge offered some crackers to their new guide. Welcome, travelers, Mr. Ratton greeted. Have you ever seen feet as gigantic as Lady Liberty's? It feels like she's going to step on us. Otto turned in a circle under the sandal on her right foot. Where's she going? Mr. Ratton lifted his head. She's taking a step forward to show that we are always making progress toward freedom. Smidge skipped around the other foot. Why is there a big broken chain here? The broken chain, Mr. Ratton explained, symbolizes freedom for those who were trapped in slavery or oppression. Click, click. Otto couldn't wait to show Dennis the broken chain. Freedom was a very important theme, and he knew Dennis would want to write about it in his report. What about the book? Otto pointed up towards Liberty's arm. Is that about freedom too? Ah, Mr. Ratton smiled. That's not a book. That's a stone tablet with a very important date on it. I suppose you could say that it represents freedom too. I want to see it closer, Smidge cried, fur puffing up tall. How many steps do we have to climb? I bet I packed enough snacks to last us hundreds of steps. No steps for special travelers like you, Mr. Ratton winked. Mrs. Heights can take you up all the way. With a piercing whistle from Mr. Ratton, down from the sky flew the biggest pigeon Otto and Smidge had ever seen. Welcome, travelers, Mrs. Heights greeted. I trust that Mr. Ratton has started your tour on the right foot. Allow me to give you a bird's eye view of the lovely Lady Liberty. Hop onto my back and hold on tight. Eyes wide and a bit nervous, Otto and Smidge settled onto Mrs. Heights' back. Then away they soared. Higher and higher they climbed into the sky until at last they reached the tablet. Mrs. Heights perched at the top. Leaning over the steep edge, the friends read what was written. Carved in giant letters was the inscription, July 1VMDCCLXXVI. Hey! Smidge frowned. Mr. Ratton said there was a very important date written on the tablet, but this just looks like alphabet soup. Confused, Otto pulled out Dennis's notes. Those aren't random letters. They're Roman numerals. The date written here in Roman numerals is July 4th, 1776. A very important date indeed, Mrs. Heights nodded. That's the day the United States adopted the Declaration of Independence. Click, click. Otto took a picture of the tablet. Smidge hopped onto Mrs. Heights' back. Independence, freedom, and liberty! Make sure Dennis has those special words in his notes, Otto. I'll make sure, he promised. Flapping her powerful wings, Mrs. Heights coasted up past Liberty's shoulders and toward her face. Otto snapped as many pictures as he could. Then they all landed on Liberty's head. "Be careful, Smidge," Otto called as his curious friend scampered out onto the tip-top of a ray on Liberty's crown. "Look at the view, Otto," Smidge shouted, mouth full of animal crackers. "There's another ray for you. In fact, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rays. Enough for everyone." Camera in hand, Otto tiptoed out to the ray and click, 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 snapped some pictures of the view. Dennis's notes say that the 7 rays represent the 7 continents and 7 seas. Mrs. Heights stretched her wings. That's because Liberty is important to people from every place on the planet. Some also say that her crown represents rays of light, extending out to the whole world. Speaking of light, Smidge bounded to the top of Liberty's head and looked up. The torch she's holding is so shiny, like a candy wrapper. What's it made of? Is it gold? Otto guessed. Very good, Mrs. Heights praised. The flame of her torch is covered in pure gold. Hop on, we'll get a closer look. Mrs. Heights took them all the way to the torch. They could see everything, from New York Harbor to the tall city buildings on the other side. Smidge swatted at the flame with her claws, just in case it actually was a wrapper covering a giant tree. The gold on the flame is so shiny, Otto squinted. I wish I brought sunglasses. It is very bright, Mrs. Heights nodded. Do you want to guess what the bright light of the torch stands for? Freedom, Smidge yelled. Independence, Otto barked. You two have paid very good attention, Mrs. Heights laughed. Lady Liberty's torch is a symbol of enlightenment. It burns bright to show us all the way to liberty. Wow! Otto took a few more snaps before tucking the camera away. Smidge slid down the flame. You got so many good pictures, Otto. Dennis will finish his report in no time. And then we can play tag, Otto's tail wagged. Smidge's fur puffed in every direction. What are you waiting for? Let's play now! You're it! Round and round they ran, chasing each other all over and around the bright golden flame and green copper torch handle. Otto was just about to tag Smidge when she jumped up on the railing to get away. Smidge, be careful! With a squeal, she slipped and disappeared over the edge. Oh no! Like an eagle, Mrs. Heights swooped and caught her. I think that's enough exploring for today, Mrs. Heights said. I'll take you two back to the train station so you can head home. She stretched her giant wings and glided the friends past Lady Liberty's feet. They waved goodbye to Mr. Ratton, the friendly ferry captain, and everyone at Ellis Island. Lady Liberty looked smaller and smaller as they flew farther away, so they waved goodbye to her as well. Landing at the station, Otto and Smidge thanked Mrs. Heights and jumped aboard their train. That was my favorite adventure yet. Otto settled into his window seat. Smidge giggled. You say that every time, Otto. With his tummy rumbling, Otto finished the last of Smidge's snacks while she napped, all the way home. A couple days later, Dennis bounded into the kitchen while Otto was eating his breakfast. Guess what? Dennis exclaimed. I presented my research on the Statue of Liberty to Mom and Dad last night, and they're adding it to our summer road trip. Your pictures were so helpful. Thank you, Otto. Anytime, Dennis, Otto's tail wagged. I had help from Smidge and some new friends. You're gonna love seeing Lady Liberty in person. She makes you feel so proud to live in a country that shines the light of liberty across the whole world. I can't wait to see her, Dennis admitted. Now that all my work is done, let's play tag. Not it! Ruff, ruff! The end. That was a great adventure. You know, liberty is one of America's most important values, and the Statue of Liberty reminds us how much France admired America's freedom when they gave us the statue. Oh, hey! It's my Statue of Liberty crown from Craftery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Otto! Oh! You're not Otto? Otto! Otto! Is this your... Hey, are you Smidge? Smidge! Well, I guess you found her. Are you still hungry? I bet you are. I'm gonna let you finish your lunch. How does that sound? All right, good job, boy. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep exploring America, right? Right? Bye, guys. Otto! Smidge! Where are you two? Where are they? Otto! Smidge! Hi! It's me, Jill. Have you seen Otto and Smidge? I can't find them anywhere. You know, I wanted to show them my costume today because I got all dressed up to look like George Washington because the story I'm Oh! What was that, a flash? I can't even see anything. Is that you? Hello? Maybe. If I start reading our story, Otto and Smidge will come back. You ready to read? Otto's Tales. Let's visit Mount Rushmore. A giant mound of clay sat on Dennis's desk, and Otto watched his best friend scrape away pieces with a set of sharp tools. Ruff, ruff, Otto barked. What are you making, Dennis? I'm making a sculpture of an American monument for my art class, Dennis explained. I'm using this picture of Mount Rushmore as my inspiration. Dennis pointed to a photo of 4 large heads carved into a hillside. Otto squinted at the photo. It's kind of hard to see the details. We should go visit this in person, Otto suggested. I wish, Dennis exclaimed, but I've still got other homework to finish besides this sculpture. I know, Otto barked excitedly. I could go and do some research for you. Every great sculptor needs an assistant, right? And every assistant needs a snack guide, chimed in a fluffy, tiny cat from the doorway. Smidge, Otto and Dennis greeted. You want inspiration? A fudge sundae is my muse. You should carve that, Smidge encouraged. I've already started, Smidge, and I'm on a deadline, Dennis explained. Then we'd better get going to Mount Rushmore to start your research, Dennis, Otto said. How do we get there? I just got a new bike. We could ride it together, Smidge said with pride. Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota. You can't ride your bikes there. It's way too far, Dennis laughed. Then we'll have to fly, Otto decided. Smidge, let's take your bike to the airport. Have fun, Dennis waved goodbye, and don't get lost. At the airport, Smidge stocked up on snacks, while Otto bought maps, a camera, and a set of binoculars. When they landed in South Dakota, they were ready for a sightseeing adventure. Outside the airport, a fox wearing a top hat held up a sign that read, Mount Rushmore tourists this way. Now, if I could just figure out which way to hold this, Otto muttered, turning the map over and over. Smidge tapped Otto. That fox looks like he knows where to go. Let's ask him. Terrific tours right this way, the fox announced. Hi, I'm Otto, and this is Smidge, Otto said to the fox. We'd like a tour of Mount Rushmore. The fox's eyes glittered like gems. Of course, welcome! My name is Mr. Louis Sebastian Charlemagne Swindler III. That's a mouthful, Smidge said, stuffing her own mouth with cheesy chips. Can we call you Mr. Swindler? Fine, Mr. Swindler sighed. Follow me. He brought them to his motorcycle, and the three zoomed away down a winding road. After quite some time, they stopped in a valley, looking up at a giant cliffside. The tour begins here, and of course, payment is required up front, Mr. Swindler held out his paw. But we don't have any more money. We spent it all on plane tickets and Smidge's snacks, Otto groaned. I accept payment in snacks, Mr. Swindler said with a toothy grin. Smidge held tight to her pack of snacks. No way! Well then, I guess you'll have to do the self-guided tour, Mr. Swindler said. Follow the trail, starting by the thorn bushes, and no matter how narrow the trail gets, just keep going. It's fine, I promise. Otto and Smidge looked at the trail with concern, then back at Mr. Swindler. But the fox was gone. Where did he go? Smidge cried out. I don't know, Otto barked, but this doesn't look right. He studied the hillside. We're supposed to see faces carved up there, 60 feet tall, like George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. If you squint, the rocks kind of look like giant fingers. Fish fingers. Smidge licked her lips and dug through her snack bag. According to the maps I got, we should see faces, not fingers. I don't think we're in the right place, Otto said with disappointment. This isn't as cool as I thought it'd be. Or maybe we went to the wrong Dakota. We should just go home, Smidge pouted. This is a lousy tour. Otto walked over to the trail and looked through his binoculars. Through them, he saw a doe right in front of him, blending in with the scenery. Hello, dears. Need some help? The doe asked. Oh, hello. I'm Otto, and this is Smidge, Otto said. We were ditched by a deceptive fox, she asked. Yeah, Smidge and Otto exclaimed. Oh, that sneaky fox. He does that to all the tourists. I'm Miss Jane D. I'd be delighted to take you to the real Mount Rushmore, Miss Jane said. Thank you, Otto said gratefully. We're on the back side of the hills. Mr. Swindler is selfish and leaves visitors here so he can enjoy the view all to himself, Miss Jane explained. But this monument is too dazzling not to share with others. Follow me. Otto and Smidge followed Miss Jane up the hillside. Look! A giant nose! Lips! Eyes! Otto shouted. And those chiseled chins, Smidge chimed in. Those noses are 20 feet tall, Miss Jane said. They're made of granite, which means they're durable. It will take a long time for them to wear away. I see George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, Otto noted. Who are the other two? Thomas Jefferson and Theodore Roosevelt. These presidents were chosen because they represent key periods in our American history. Our birth, growth, preservation, and development. What a special way to honor these great men, Otto barked. There's so much detail in the carvings. How long did it take to carve them into the mountain? Construction started in 1927 and ended in 1941. So, a total of 14 years. Over 400 people were involved in the carving, Miss Jane said with pride. That's some impressive teamwork, Smidge remarked. Otto took in the view with his binoculars. Hey! I see Mr. Swindler! He's sitting on top of Thomas Jefferson's head, and he's eating some of Smidge's snacks. Smidge huffed. How dare he steal my snacks? I knew my bag felt lighter. Oh dear, but don't worry, Miss Jane assured them. This monument was made for tourists to enjoy, and there is one place Mr. Swindler doesn't know about. I'll take you there. Where are we going? Smidge asked, as they climbed up behind Abraham Lincoln's massive head. There's a secret room here behind Lincoln's head, Miss Jane revealed. It's called the Hall of Records. They made their way into a rectangular opening in the granite rock. It feels like we're going on a treasure hunt, Otto remarked. Who made this? The idea came from the monument's designer, Gutzon Borglum. He had a grand vision to make this room a vault to display America's history, Miss Jane told them. So where's all the history? It looks like an empty hallway, Smidge observed. Unfortunately, Borglum died before seeing his dream come to life. But in 1998, panels showcasing the words of our Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution were put in here, Miss Jane explained. She pointed to a stone slab at the entrance of the hall. They're stored safely in a vault underneath that stone, she said. Wow, this feels like a movie, Otto said in amazement. Thanks for a great tour, Miss Jane. Yeah, Smidge agreed. I'm really glad we didn't give up when Mr. Swindler left us. Turns out something better was waiting for us. Dear me, you're very kind. It's been a delightful time. I can take you back down, Miss Jane offered. Thanks, Otto barked. Wow, Smidge, we're gonna have so much to tell Dennis. Back at Dennis's house, Otto and Smidge rushed into his bedroom. How was your trip? Dennis asked. So cool, Otto said. Except for meeting a sneaky fox who took us to the wrong place and stole my snacks, Smidge muttered. Besides that, Otto went on, we got to meet a nice doe named Miss Jane, who brought us to the monument, and she even showed us a secret room behind Abraham Lincoln's head in the rocks. Sounds like a blast, Dennis replied. That was my favorite adventure yet, Otto exclaimed. You say that every time, Otto, Dennis and Smidge said at the same time. Since you're both experts now, want to help me put the finishing details on my sculpture? Dennis asked, handing them both a carving tool. I still think a fudge sundae is a better inspiration, Smidge insisted. Otto chuckled. And I think it should be 59 feet taller. Ruff, ruff. Well, I think it's looking great, Dennis said. I'm gonna ace this assignment. Oh dear, Smidge replied with a wink. Be careful, or else you might get a big head, Dennis. The end. I love that adventure. You want to know something else about Mount Rushmore? Well, some people say the men who worked on the mountain lived in the Black Hills area because there was a gold rush there 50 years before, and they went to that area looking for gold! Otto, Smidge! Yes, gold! Do you like my costume of George Washington? I thought you might. These gold coins are actually chocolate. Smidge, did you have anything to do with this? I thought so. You want to know what else is chocolate? This! How did I guess? Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep exploring America. Bye, guys. Welcome to Otto's Tales, storytime brought to you by PragerU Kids. I'm Jill. Okay. Oh, hi, Otto. Very funny. I'm Jill. And today... Smidge, I have a feeling that's you. One more time. I'm Jill. And today, you two are unbelievable. Thank you. Okay, enough. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Why don't you two go play so I can read the story? Okay. Time to read Otto's Tales. Let's visit the Liberty Bell. Ruff, ruff, Otto barked, joyfully wagging his tail. Smidge is gonna love this. Otto and his best friend Dennis studied a small piece of paper in the kitchen. In bold letters across the top, it read, Perfect Birthday Cake Recipe. Dennis grinned. Remember, it's going to be a surprise. My lips are sealed. Otto zipped his mouth closed. Collecting the ingredients, the boy and his bulldog heard the front door open and close, followed by the pitter-patter of little paws. A fluffy white kitten scampered into the kitchen with eyes wide and wet, muddy footprints. Smidge! Otto gasped. You're supposed to wipe your feet at the door. Sorry, it's raining. She shook herself dry. I don't think it's going to stop all week. My birthday plans are ruined. Your birthday? Otto pretended to be surprised. The kitten frowned. Don't tell me you forgot. We didn't forget, Dennis assured her. We were just making a list of snacks you'd want. You know what I really want? Smidge smiled. A big, shiny, golden bell. She smoothed down her poofy fur. My friend Fluffy just got one, and it's so pretty. Everyone tells her how sophisticated she looks. I know a place where you can see a really big bell, Dennis exclaimed. I've done research on it. It's called the Liberty Bell. Come on, Smidge. Let's go find you the best birthday bell ever. Otto grabbed her paw, and they were off. With a zip of her coat, Smidge peered across the Delaware River and up to a dark blue sky. I can't believe it's raining in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, too. What rotten luck! The two friends made their way towards the city, jumping to avoid the puddles. Otto held up a giant map. It looks like the bell is inside a building, so we'll be okay. Clip-clop, clip-clop. The sound of steady hoofbeats echoed around them. An enormous horse, pulling a covered carriage, approached them on the street. Nay! I'm Philly! Would you two like a ride? Yes! The kitten shook water from her coat. I'm Smidge. My friend Otto and I are trying to find the Liberty Bell. Philly flicked her long chestnut tail. I know the way. I lead tours through the city every day. Otto and Smidge climbed aboard, and Philly set out. Clip, clop. The horse was curious. What brings you here to visit the bell? My birthday, Smidge announced. I want a bell as a gift. Happy birthday! I can't think of a better gift, Philly laughed, water shaking down from her mane. You could say the Liberty Bell was a gift too. It was made in 1751 to mark the 50th anniversary of William Penn's Charter of Privileges, which was Pennsylvania's original constitution. That's a neat way to celebrate, Otto chimed in. The building coming up on your left is where they first hung the Liberty Bell, the Pennsylvania State House, Philly continued. This building is now called Independence Hall. It's where the Founding Fathers signed America's Declaration of Independence. Smidge and Otto squished to one side of the carriage to get a better look at the two-story red brick building. What history happened there? The bell actually changed names too, Philly shared. It was originally known as the State House Bell. It became known as the Liberty Bell during the anti-slavery movement in the 19th century. Because it symbolized freedom, Otto burst out. Correct, Philly neighed with glee. It helped create unity in America after the Civil War. So where's the bell now? Smidge asked. Philly nodded her head to the other side of the road. In the building right across the street. I'll take you over. Smidge whispered to Otto. All this travel is making me hungry. Well, I've got something I've been waiting for all day. Otto reached into his bag and pulled out a bone. Suddenly, with a big bump, the carriage bounced, and the yummy bone flew out of Otto's paws, through the air, and plunked on the street below. Crack! Oh no, stop! Otto shouted. Smidge and Otto leapt out of their seats and onto the road. The bulldog examined his cracked bone and hung his head. I guess you're not the only one with bad luck this trip, Smidge. Maybe there's something we can use to fix it inside the building, Smidge suggested. Sorry about your treat, Philly sympathized. I do hope you enjoy the bell. It's a wonderful piece of our history. Thank you, Philly. The kitten and the bulldog waved goodbye as the horse clip-clopped away. Inside the building, the two friends squished into a crowd of people waiting to see the Liberty Bell. This could take a while, Smidge sighed. Otto looked around. I don't spot anything we can use to fix my cracked bone. Me neither, Smidge shrugged. What else could go wrong? They waited in line, in silence, until it was finally their turn. Just as they approached the copper bell, they noticed a tiny church mouse with an even tinier cloth furiously polishing it. "Greetings, travelers," the mouse squeaked. "My name is Father Lieber. What do you think of our magnificent Liberty Bell?" Smidge wiggled her whiskers. "There's a crack in it, just like your bone, Otto." Otto was confused. "That crack looks old. Why hasn't anyone tried to fix it, Father Lieber?" The mouse stopped polishing and smiled. "Not everything that's cracked needs to be fixed. Does the crack change the beauty of the bell or what it stands for?" Otto paused. "I guess it doesn't. But wouldn't a flawless bell be more beautiful?" Smidge tilted her head, examining the crack further. "I don't know, Otto. I think it's kind of unique. It adds a little character. Anything as old as the Liberty Bell is going to have marks to show its story." "Exactly," Father Lieber agreed. "Things don't need to be perfect to have value." "I see," Otto nodded. "So how did it get cracked? Did someone drop it?" Father Lieber's eyes got wide and his ears perked. "That, my friends, is still a great mystery. The best guess is that the bell cracked in the 1840s after 90 years of being used." "We love a good mystery," the bulldog barked. "Come closer, and I'll tell you another interesting story," the mouse invited. "This bell represents many different kinds of freedoms we have in this country. Do you see this inscription on the top here?" Father Lieber pointed to words circling the top of the bell. "Is that a Bible verse?" Otto questioned. "Yes," the mouse's claws clinked on the bell. "It's from the book of Leviticus in the Bible, chapter 25, verse 10, which says, 'Proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof.'" What freedom is that referring to? Smidge's eyes lit up. "I know, freedom from slavery." "Right. And what's another freedom we have that the Bible reminds you of?" the mouse continued. "Freedom of religion," Otto exclaimed. "You nailed it," Father Lieber congratulated. "You want to know something else extraordinary? This bell was even hidden in a church during the American Revolution because the Patriots feared the British would melt it and use it for cannons." "Really?" The kitten flicked her tail. "I'm so glad it was kept safe, and I'm so thankful that we're free to express our thoughts and beliefs here in America." "Me too," Otto agreed. "What do you think, Smidge? Do you still want a bell like this?" She grinned. "It's the best birthday gift." Father Lieber beamed. "You can find one to take home in our gift shop. I hope you enjoyed your visit." "We did," Otto nodded. "Our trip wasn't perfect, but we learned some very valuable things." The bulldog and kitten bid the mouse and bell farewell. Smidge proudly jingled her new miniature Liberty Bell. "It's not as big as the real thing, but it sure will make a great necklace." "That's an excellent idea." The gift shop cashier couldn't help but overhear them. "We should sell those." She then offered Smidge some string from behind the counter. "Until then, this can work." "Thank you," the kitten purred. Otto tied the bell around her neck. "Let's get back and show Dennis." By the time they arrived home, the rain had finally stopped. Otto and Smidge ran into the backyard. "Surprise!" Dennis yelled. There were balloons, streamers, presents, and a giant cake on a table, surrounded by all their neighborhood friends. "Happy birthday, Smidge!" Otto howled. "All this for me?" Smidge's eyes sparkled with happy tears. "Of course," Dennis said. "I only wish the cake hadn't fallen apart a little in the middle. I wanted it to be perfect." Smidge and Otto looked at the cake with a giant crack in it and burst out laughing. "It doesn't have to be perfect. I love it," Smidge hugged Dennis. "Great. And did you two have a fun birthday trip?" he asked. "Things didn't go according to plan," Smidge admitted, "but we learned to appreciate what we have, even if it's got a little or big crack." "It was my favorite adventure yet," Otto winked. "You say that every time," Smidge laughed. "This calls for cake all around," Dennis announced. "Ruff, ruff!" Everyone dug into the sweet treat, and to Smidge's delight, there was enough to have seconds. The end. I love that adventure. You know, our Liberty Bell is one of America's most special historic symbols. It represents different kinds of freedoms. Freedom from slavery and freedom of religion that we have here in America. Not all countries have the kind of freedoms that we have. Hi, Otto. Otto, what's this, my Bible? Good boy! You found the verse on the Liberty Bell in the book of Leviticus. Proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. Very good. Yes, Smidge, ring the bell for freedom and keep ringing it. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep honoring freedom, right? Ring the bell. Bye, guys. Otto? Smidge? What are you two up to? Hi. Welcome to Otto's Tales, story time by PragerU Kids. I'm not sure what these two are doing, but are you two okay? How long have you been standing like that? Wow! You're saluting our American soldiers! And you've been standing like this for a whole hour? Do you two need a break? Yes. You know, you're very admirable, but I think you two can rest for a bit. Just relax. Relax. There you go. There you go. There you go. Our soldiers will understand. Go take a break. What good hearts they have. Now, while they're resting, would you like to read our story? Okay. Get ready for Otto's Tales. Let's visit Arlington National Cemetery. It was a lazy afternoon in the Prager household, but Otto the Bulldog's eyes were focused with determination. His best friend Dennis watched him and grinned at the sight of the bulldog circling his bed and measuring it with a ruler. "What are you doing, Otto?" Dennis asked. "Ruff, ruff! I've been saving my allowance for a new, more comfortable bed." Otto held the ruler up and down and side to side. "I want the biggest, softest one they have. I just need to make sure it'll fit." "Does that mean you're giving away your old bed? Because I'll take it." The scratch of Smidge's scampering paws startled the boy and his dog as the kitten bounded into the room. Otto chuckled. "It's not for sale yet, Smidge, but I do wonder how much I should sell it for." "I'm giving my allowance to a veterans charity," Dennis announced. "With Memorial Day coming up, I've been thinking about sacrificing a bit of my own money to show appreciation for those who have sacrificed for us." "You're giving your money away?" Otto didn't like the sound of that. "Yes, you should give something too to help our veterans," Dennis encouraged. Otto thought about it. "Why is it so important to give to our veterans? I've been saving up for such a long time." Dennis put his arm around his pal. "I know a great place where you can learn all about the soldiers who have fought for our country. It's called Arlington National Cemetery." Smidge wiggled her whiskers. "We're going to a cemetery?" Dennis grabbed their paws. "To a famous cemetery. Come on, let's go." "Yay! We're going to drive there in the RV!" Otto excitedly hopped up into the vehicle. Smidge looked around and purred. "How fun! We can sleep and cook in here too. Is everyone buckled up? Dennis, Smidge, and Otto clicked their seatbelts in unison. Smidge arranged snacks on her lap. Otto pressed his nose against the window. Dennis turned the ignition key and exclaimed, "Here we go!" The trio was off, and Otto and Smidge drifted to sleep as the rhythm of the wheels hummed on the highway. Suddenly, bump! The friends were startled awake from their naps. Smidge's snacks went flying. Whoa! Sorry about that. Dennis pulled the RV over. Well, we made it to Arlington, Virginia, but I think something just popped the tire. What should we do? Otto was anxious. You two go on ahead to the cemetery. I'll stay here and fix the tire. Dennis pushed up his glasses, took a deep breath, and gave them a reassuring smile. But you really wanted to go, Smidge pointed out. I'll join you as soon as I can, he promised. Otto and Smidge set out for the cemetery, following a map from the RV. In no time, they found the main gate that led to a large white building shaped like a semicircle. This place is huge, Smidge exclaimed. Where do we start? Otto glanced around. A small bunny wearing a uniform caught his eye. Let's ask her. Smidge's eyes sparkled. Her fur looks so silky. I'll have to ask how she does that. The pair skipped over and tapped the bunny on the shoulder. The bunny startled and turned around. Yes, can I help you? She sniffled. Are you okay? Otto noticed she was crying. I'm Otto, and this is my friend, Smidge. I'm sorry if we scared you. We didn't mean to. The bunny wiped her tears. Nice to meet you. I'm Arlen Bunnington. I'm a new volunteer here, but I am having a difficult first day. I just said goodbye to my family. Smidge patted Arlen's arm. Don't worry, you'll see them again soon. That's just it, Arlen sighed sadly. I have no idea when I'll see them again because they live so far away. My work here is very important, but it will be hard to be away from my family. Oh, Otto sympathized. What did you come here to do? Arlen perked up, energized by the question. Oh, lots of things. I help visitors get around, assist with ceremonies, and keep the property clean. In fact, why don't I start by showing you two around? We'd love that, Smidge grinned. She leaned closer to Arlen. And I'd love the secret to your soft, silky fur. The bunny whispered, I brush it every day. That's dedication, Smidge remarked. Yes, it's one of the many reasons I got accepted here, Arlen shared. Because you keep your fur so nice? Otto asked, confused. No, Arlen giggled, because I am dedicated in everything I do. Everyone who works here has to be. We sacrifice a lot to be here, including our family time, our fun time, and our comforts. Why would you do that? Otto was curious. I'll show you. Arlen hopped ahead, straight to the cemetery. The curious bulldog and kitten followed Arlen closely down a path. They soon reached an area of tombstones, labeled with the number 27. Welcome to Section 27, the bunny announced. This is one of the oldest sections in the cemetery, with burials dating as early as 1864. Smidge scanned the rows of white stones. How is there room for all these people? There must be thousands here. Arlen's nose twitched. There's around 400,000 people buried here, including veterans from all of America's major wars and their family members. Otto's eyes widened in awe. Wow! So many people have fought and died for our country. I know, Arlen agreed. When I think of what I gave up to be here, it's nothing compared to what these men and women gave up. Many of them paid the ultimate price, their lives so we can live in a free country. We call that the ultimate sacrifice. Otto nodded solemnly. You're right. I wish I knew more about these brave people and what they did. Me too, Smidge chimed in. I want to pay my respects. Arlen smiled and her ears stood tall. I'll take you to one of my favorite spots in this section. It's the grave of the first soldier ever buried here, Private William Henry Christman. The friends followed their bouncy guide to another tombstone. They paused when they saw a giant, hard-shelled tortoise standing there. The tortoise looked very serious, and his shell was decorated with shiny metals. Greetings! The tortoise's voice was gruff. I'm General William Henry, proud to be named after Arlington's first soldier. The bunny stepped forward. My name is Arlen Bunnington. I'm a new volunteer. This is Otto and Smidge. They're visitors today, and I'm showing them around. Otto and Smidge waved. Hi, General! Welcome all of you, the tortoise replied. And thank you for your service here, Arlen. That's very kind, Arlen blushed. But really, I should be thanking you, sir. Looking at all your medals, I bet you've served a long time. I have, the tortoise nodded. I've seen war and battles that haven't been easy, and it's been an honor to serve my country. The medals mean a lot, but they aren't nearly as important as protecting our freedoms. I've fought alongside so many brave soldiers who've become like family to me. That sounds like a special bond. Otto beamed with admiration for the general. You all have something in common, what you value. Bravery and sacrifice, Arlen pointed out. General, do you have a favorite spot at Arlington? The tortoise raised his head, and a slight smile appeared on his lips. I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. It's called the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The general lumbered off, and the eager friends followed. Eventually, the foursome approached what looked like a huge white box, with two guards standing at strict attention around it. Moving closer, Otto noticed the box was actually a tomb made of marble with words and designs carved on it. Otto read the words aloud. Here rests in honored glory an American soldier known but to God. Why is the soldier in the tomb unknown? Smidge asked. During war, it can be hard to identify every soldier that dies, the general explained. They are often buried in the country where they were fighting and have no name on their tombstone. But after World War I, a veteran and congressman named Hamilton Fish III proposed that one unidentified soldier who died fighting in Europe should be buried at a special tomb here in Arlington. That was very thoughtful of Mr. Fish, Smidge nodded in appreciation. Yes, the tortoise agreed. The soldier was to represent the soul of America and the supreme sacrifice of her heroic dead. Now there are 3 unidentified soldiers from different wars buried in this tomb. I'm beginning to understand why sacrifice is so important, Otto shared. To sacrifice means to give up something you want for the good of others or for your country, Smidge nudged Otto. It's selfless. I think this is what Dennis wanted me to see, Otto realized. Getting a new bed is important to me, but it's not as important as donating to those who've sacrificed their own comfort and more for all of us. Affirmative, the general bellowed. Thank you, General and Arlen, for showing us what true sacrifice looks like. Otto felt more grateful than he had ever remembered feeling before. The tortoise gave a final salute. Keep up the good fight. The bulldog and kitten made it back to the main gate just as an RV rolled up. A familiar boy with white hair and glasses smiled and waved at them through the windshield. "Dennis!" They climbed in. "Sorry I missed the tour, but the RV is all fixed now." Dennis wiped grease from his face. "How was Arlington?" "It was a great experience," Otto bounced excitedly. "We learned about sacrifice and how so many have given their lives to keep us safe and free. I've decided I do want to give my allowance to the Veterans Charity when I get home. It's an important thing to do." "That's amazing!" Dennis celebrated. "I think people who help the fighters are just as important as the fighters themselves. And we can always help by donating and offering what we have." "I want to give something too," Smidge exclaimed. "I can sacrifice some of my snack fund." Otto leapt up and laughed. "That was my favorite adventure yet." Smidge and Dennis looked at each other. "You say that every time, Otto." Ruff, ruff! The trio buckled into their seats and drove away from the cemetery as the golden setting sun cast a warm glow over the white tombstones of the brave. The end. What a meaningful place Arlington is, and a beautiful way to honor so many brave soldiers who have fought for our freedom. We're very lucky to have so many places to visit that remind us how special the United States really is. Places like Arlington keep America's story alive. Hey, you two, did you have a nice rest? Good. What an incredible journey. You know, Otto, this might be my most favorite adventure you've shared with us yet. Hey, can I join you two in saluting our soldiers? Okay, here we go. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep remembering and appreciating all who have fought for America's freedom. Bye, guys. Welcome to Otto's Tales, story time brought to you by PragerU Kids. I'm Jill, and today, Smidge! Otto! Hi, you two! Oh, that's not very nice. Okay, no, stop! What happened? This isn't, okay, enough. Shh. Why don't each of you take a deep breath and take some time alone to calm down before we talk about what just happened here, okay? Take a little bit of time. Smidge, Otto. That's never happened before between them. Well, are you still in the mood to read a story? Me too. All right, let's visit the White House and Washington Monument. Beep, beep. Cars honked from all around as the Prager RV sat stuck in Washington, D.C. traffic. Smidge reached for the air conditioning controls. Ruff, ruff, Otto barked. Quit fiddling with the controls, Smidge. I'm sweating. The kitten turned the knobs anyway. I'm cold. As the smallest passenger, I should be in charge of the temperature. Otto sighed. You control the air, the music, our food? What's left for Dennis and me? The RV edged forward slowly, and Dennis called back. What's all the fuss? The White House is straight ahead, and we're only a few minutes late for the tour. Hang in there. The bulldog stared glumly out the window. We'd be there already if Smidge hadn't made us stop for snacks. The kitten's fur puffed up. I was thinking of all of us. Otto cranked the cold air back up in response. Smidge wrinkled her whiskers, accepting the challenge. Back and forth they went, turning the knobs from cool to warm until Dennis hit the brakes. We made it! Dennis exhaled. The friends bickering paused when they noticed the magnificent white mansion behind a tall black fence. Let's hope the White House is big enough for the both of you, because this RV certainly isn't, Dennis chuckled. They all hopped out and headed to the security checkpoint. They confiscated my tuna! The flustered kitten crossed her arms. Who made this rule? No food. This is the president's house. We have to be respectful. Dennis calmed her as they followed the signs toward the residence building. Right this way. A woman in uniform ushered them in to join their tour. There's so much to see, so please try not to linger in any one room. As the people shuffled forward, the woman addressed the group. This is the ground floor, which boasts the library, the china room, and the vermeil room. The floor above is the state floor, which has other ceremonial rooms, such as the blue room, east room, and state dining room. The second and third floor are unavailable to tour because the first family lives there. Dennis's eyes lit up. All those books in the library! The tour guide continued. The house often hosts distinguished guests, foreign dignitaries, concerts. From the corner of his eye, Otto noticed Smidge dart into a different room from the rest of the group. He curiously followed her as the guide's voice faded down the hall. Otto found Smidge in a room with pretty plates, delicate bowls, and all sorts of fancy china. Just imagine tuna on these spectacular plates. Smidge licked her lips. Fine dining and tons of bedrooms for sleepovers. This house has everything. Otto smiled. I wish I was as powerful as the president. I'd build a theater and bowling alley in my house, too. See them on this map? Ooh, let's visit those. The eager kitten reached for Otto's map. He held it away from her. I'm in control of the directions. Follow me. The confident bulldog bounded up a flight of stairs, across the hall, and into the very crowded blue room. This isn't right, Smidge protested. I thought we were going where I wanted to. We will, Otto said as he wiggled behind a curtain and opened a window. After a quick detour, the bulldog grinned and pounced outside. Where are you going? Smidge scrambled after him. Racing down the stairs to the lawn, the kitten looked around nervously. Otto, are you sure about this? The west wing gleamed brightly in the morning sun ahead of them. The Oval Office is right through those doors, Otto pointed. Don't you want to see where the president works and makes important decisions? Smidge paused. Well, I guess he's the one with all the power. Maybe I can talk to him about the no food rule. Ruff! Otto leapt to open the door. A large wooden desk stood in front of the windows, which were draped with long yellow curtains. Otto and Smidge raced across the majestic eagle nested in the deep blue carpet to get to the empty desk chair first. Thump! They tripped. Something was sprawled across the floor. A big, stern dog rose from his resting place and stood tall over them. State your name and business here, the dog bellowed. I'm Teddy, special security for the President of the United States of America. The friends froze in their tracks. I'm Otto, and this is Smidge. We're visitors touring the White House. Smidge's whiskers trembled. Teddy sniffed around them. You two smell like mischief, but no harm is done. I'll escort you back. Tourists aren't allowed in this office. We understand, Otto replied, disappointed. Chin up, Teddy urged as he led them outside. I'll fill you in on anything you missed on your tour. Smidge wiggled her nose. Something smells good out here, and it's not food. That would be the rose garden. Teddy pointed towards beautifully blooming flowers. Many important events, briefings, and ceremonies are held here. There's so much space, Otto exclaimed. I bet it's great for playing fetch. Yes, but it's not all fun and games, Teddy replied. His tone was serious, and his strides were swift. Otto and Smidge struggled to keep up. This mansion is more than a home, Teddy explained. It's a workplace and public museum, too. The president and his family sacrifice a lot of privacy by living here. I didn't think about that, Otto admitted. I wouldn't like strangers poking around my house. Smidge nodded. So, has every president lived here? Teddy's ears perked. Everyone, starting with John Adams, our second president. George Washington was the one who picked the site for the house in 1791. Wow! Otto marveled. That's a lot of people who have lived here through the years. It must be sad when they leave. The trio arrived at another garden, and Teddy stopped. Every president knows their time is limited in this office, so they serve as best they can. Don't you mean rule? Smidge asked. Teddy shook his head. A president's job is to serve his country and people. Living in a republic means the people elect who they want to lead, and the leader in return serves the people's needs. Otto thought about this. A president serves the people. That's a harder job than I realized. It is, Teddy agreed. Now, I should get back to my job too. If you pass through the garden here, you'll get back to your tour in the East Wing. Thank you for your help, Teddy, Smidge bounced. Of course, try to stay out of trouble. The big dog winked. Smidge ran ahead towards a large flower and pressed her face into it. Otto, come smell these! When she pulled away, a monarch butterfly was perched on her nose. Hello there, the fluttering beauty said. My name is Jackie. Are you enjoying the Jacqueline Kennedy Garden? Achoo! Smidge sneezed, sending Jackie flying. Sorry, the kitten cried. I'm Smidge, and this is Otto. We were just passing through. Are you named after this garden? Jackie flitted closer. Yes, I share a name with First Lady Jackie Kennedy, who helped redesign and replant the White House gardens after years of neglect. I'm glad she did, Smidge admired the colorful greenery. But weren't there servants to do that? Jackie smiled. The White House has staff, but First Ladies have responsibilities too. They're not queens to be waited on. They fight for important causes, host events, and lead many efforts around here. Otto nodded. She may not run the country, but her job, like the president, includes serving the people. Exactly, Jackie agreed. Sounds like an exciting job. Achoo! Smidge sneezed again. Otto nudged Smidge. Let's get back. We should find Dennis. How will we find him? Smidge pointed to the sea of people exiting the White House. Perhaps you need a better view. I can't go very high, but wait here. Jackie lifted away. As the friends waited for her to return, a large shadow loomed over them and blocked the sun before a giant bald eagle landed on the grass. Good afternoon, I'm George, the eagle proclaimed. Jackie tells me you need a lift. We do! Smidge was ecstatic. We're looking for our friend in that crowd. Hop on! George lowered his strong wing. With a powerful launch, George soared into the sky. Wait! Why are we flying away? Otto asked. You need a better view to find your friend, George assured them. You can see everything from the Washington Monument. You mean that tall, pencil-looking structure? Smidge pointed at the towering obelisk ahead. Yes, George chuckled. The monument was designed by architect Robert Mills and was built to honor George Washington, our first president. It's just over 555 feet tall and took 36 years to complete. You can tell by the change in color of the stones around the 150-foot mark down there. Otto was enjoying the view. There are so many big white buildings around here. You're right. George tilted his wings to slow down. You can see the Capitol and Supreme Court buildings from here. Those represent the other branches of government that the president shares power with. Smidge was curious. Why does he share it? So that no person or group can become too powerful. George Washington set the example for this when he gave up his power after 2 terms as President of the United States. He could have been the nation's leader as long as he wished, but he stepped down because he didn't want the people to trade one king for another. The key to having power is giving it up? Smidge asked. That doesn't make sense. I think George means that a good leader is selfless, which we learned at the White House too. The president serves the people, and the people keep him in check, Otto reasoned. Oh, I see, Smidge understood. George circled the monument and perched on its pointed tip. Otto and Smidge peered down toward the White House. On the lawn, they saw an unmistakable boy with white hair and glasses, looking for his 2 lost friends. Dennis! Smidge and Otto called as George descended to the White House. Where have you been? Dennis gazed up in shock and shook his head. Otto thought it would be a good idea to sneak off to the Oval Office, Smidge explained. But a nice security dog brought us back here. And when we didn't find you, our friend George helped us get a better view from the Washington Monument. They thanked George, and he gave a sturdy salute before he swooped off, disappearing behind an American flag atop the White House. Dennis pushed his glasses up. You 2 could have gotten into big trouble. But that sounds like quite a VIP tour. That was my favorite adventure yet, Otto barked. You say that every time, Otto, Smidge replied. The trio made their way back to the RV and piled in. Dennis, I think you should have control of the air conditioning, Otto confessed. Dennis couldn't help but laugh. Are you sure Smidge isn't in charge of that? I'd rather share my power, the kitten declared. Ruff, ruff, Otto agreed. Dennis smiled and rolled down the windows instead. All right, you 2, let's go home. With their heads sticking out of the window, Otto and Smidge enjoyed the breeze through their fur, happy that they didn't need to make any more decisions, until Smidge got hungry for a snack again. The end. This story might be one of my favorite spots to visit yet. The White House is an incredible place. You know, it's sometimes called the People's House, where all Americans can feel like we belong, because our president and leaders are elected by us. Hello, Otto, Smidge. Now, have you 2 worked things out? Very good, very good. Smidge? Very nice, thank you. Good boy, Otto. Oh, how very nice. Good boy, Otto. Wow, do you 2 accept each other's apologies now? Yes, well, I am glad we got that straightened out. You know, learning how to solve arguments is an important skill to have. Great leaders know how to solve conflicts. And hey, maybe one of you 2 can be president one day. You think? Maybe. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep learning about all the great places that make America special. Bye-bye. Good boy. Good. Welcome to Otto's Tales, storytime brought to you by PragerU Kids. I'm Jill, and today we're reading a story about working hard to get a really big job done. Otto, Smidge! We're going on another adventure to one of our most amazing American monuments. And I gotta tell you, it's what... You 2 are always up to something. I've got my eyes on you. Time to read Otto's Tales. Let's visit the Hoover Dam. The dusty road stretched out before the bus, and Otto the bulldog tried to get a better view out the window. Ruff, ruff, Otto barked, nudging his best friend Dennis. I want to see the view. Dennis yawned. There's not much to see, Otto. It's just the Nevada desert. Why a sleepaway camp in the desert? Otto asked. My dad went to this camp when he was my age. It's tradition, Dennis grinned. The bus slowed down, and a woman in the front row with a name tag reading Counselor Rachel called Pit Stop. They pulled into a gas station, and the campers filed out. Come on, Otto, Dennis said. Let's go stock up on snacks and drinks. You forgot your backpack on your seat, Otto realized. I'll grab it so we can load up with treats. Okay, Dennis nodded. I'll head inside. Otto bounded back onto the bus and grabbed Dennis's backpack. He heard a familiar meow. He unzipped the bag and out popped the fluffy head of a tiny kitten. Smidge, Otto barked. Did Dennis say he was getting snacks? Because I already ate all the ones in his bag. Smidge rubbed crumbs off her little pink nose. Smidge, you can't just stow away and eat Dennis's food, Otto scolded. Which is why I'm going to get my own. Smidge leaped out of the bag and dashed off the bus. Wait up, Otto chased after her. Inside the gas station, Otto caught Smidge in the cookie aisle. Here, hold these. Smidge stacked 4 packages of cookies on top of Otto's head. Smidge, Otto smiled. You don't have money to buy these. We have to find Dennis. Oh, all right, Smidge sighed. Otto looked around the store. He came in here not long ago. Smidge and Otto searched the aisles, but Dennis was nowhere to be found. They ran outside. The bus engine roared as it zoomed down the road. Dennis! Otto cried, but it was too late. Uh-oh, Smidge groaned. Dennis will come back for us, Otto said hopefully. He watched the yellow bus shrink down the road. Finally, it disappeared. We're going to starve, Smidge wailed. We won't starve, Smidge. Come on. If we get moving, we'll either catch up with them at the next stop or they'll turn around and find us, Otto urged. It's just a small detour. 40 minutes later, there was still no sign of the bus. My feet hurt, Smidge complained, and I'm covered in dust. Smidge's white fur was now light brown. You look like brown sugar, Otto chuckled. Sugar? Don't remind me how hungry I am, Smidge cried. But you're always hungry, Otto pointed out. Smidge looked around. Why is everything in the desert so brown? Not everything, Otto pointed. Look! Up ahead, they saw a wide blue-green river. It looked like a snake winding through the rocky terrain. A giant wall held the water back and kept it from spilling down the cliffside. Let's check that out, Otto suggested. Okay, but I am not getting wet, Smidge shuddered. Meanwhile, on the bus, Dennis woke up from a nap. He noticed his pal wasn't on the seat next to him. Otto? He checked under the seat and in the aisle. No luck. He stood up and shouted, Has anyone seen Otto? The campers shook their heads. He forgot Otto. Dennis ran to the front of the bus to talk to Counselor Rachel. She would know what to do. Not too far away, Otto and Smidge stood at the top of a concrete wall, looking over. It was a long, long way down to where the water poured out of the sides of the canyon and into the river below. What is this place? Smidge asked. It looks like a dam, Otto guessed. Let's ask someone. There's no one around. Smidge looked back and forth. Otto pointed down, and Smidge's eyes nearly popped out of her face. A big horned sheep was balancing on the exterior of the dam below them. He wore a construction hat with his large curly horns poking out the sides. The big horned sheep was speaking in a loud and commanding voice to the other sheep. Let's pick up the pace. We have work to do. Report to me immediately if you find any cracks. How are they standing like that? Smidge gasped, pointing to the other sheep standing on the side of the dam. I have pretty good balance, but that's scary. Excuse us, Otto called down to get their attention. The sheep giving orders looked up. Howdy, travelers! What brings you to the Hoover Dam? We're lost, said Otto. Can you help us? The sheep jumped on top of the dam to join them. Herbert Hoofer, at your service. Herbert brought his hoof up in a salute. I'm Otto, and this is Smidge. It's nice to meet you, Herbert. You called this place the Hoover Dam. Why is it called that? It's named after the President of the United States, who worked hard to get the dam built. President Herbert Hoover. I'm named after him as well, Herbert said, his chest puffing with pride. Why would the president build a dam in the desert? Smidge asked. An excellent question. This river here is called the Colorado River. Back in the early 1900s, it flooded a lot, destroying homes, crops, and roads, which wasn't good for the people who lived here. A dam was built to control the flooding and to harness the water for crop irrigation and electric power, Herbert explained. Wow, that must have been quite a project, Smidge said. It was, Herbert agreed. I can give you a closer look if you like. Smidge and Otto took a step away from the edge of the dam. Herbert laughed. It's quite all right. Hop on my back. I've been doing this for years. Otto and Smidge climbed on and tightly gripped Herbert's horns. This dam has top-notch integrity, Herbert assured them. He worked his way down the dam using the grooves as steps. It's made out of 5 million barrels of cement and reinforced with 45 million pounds of steel. That's enough concrete to pave a road from San Francisco to New York City. Smidge was shaking. That's a lot, she eyed the water below. Sounds dangerous. Did anyone get hurt? Yes, unfortunately some did. It took 5 years to construct this masterpiece. 21,000 men worked on it, and 96 died. We've got a memorial here to honor their lives, Herbert revealed. I'm glad those people will be remembered for what they did, Otto said. Indeed, it took courage and sacrifice, Herbert remarked. Hey, he shouted up to his fellow sheep. No lollygagging. What's lollygagging? Smidge wondered. Oh, I wish I had a lollipop. Lollygagging is taking your sweet time and being unproductive. I don't allow that. My sheep work hard to keep this dam in tip-top shape. Sweet, Smidge licked her lips. Is there any food here? There's fish in the river. Cats like fish, right? Herbert asked. You mean I have to catch it? Smidge winced. Well, I can't. Hooves aren't great for grasping slippery fish, Herbert explained. Smidge pouted. If you want something, you've got to work for it, little lady, Herbert reminded her. The reward is much greater when you put in the effort to accomplish a task. My best friend Dennis works really hard, Otto said. He would have loved learning about this dam. Where is Dennis? Herbert asked. He's on a bus that left without us at a nearby gas station, Otto explained sadly. Probably heading downriver, Herbert thought for a moment. I know someone who can help. He'll put you to work, though. To find your friend, you'll have to go down the Colorado River, Herbert said, bringing them down to the bottom of the dam. Otto jumped onto a ledge above the water. Smidge wouldn't let go of Herbert's horn. I can't swim and I hate getting wet. Who said anything about swimming? A large beaver jumped out of the water. Hola, I'm Senor Castor. He shook their paws. I'm Otto, and this is Scaredy Cat Smidge. Smidge finally released her grip on Herbert. I'm not a scaredy cat.
How can we get down the river?
You can do what beavers do. Build! Senor Castor pointed to a pile of floating logs, sticks, and leaves.
That looks like a pile of junk. What are we going to build with that? Smidge asked. A raft, barked Otto. This'll be fun. Good luck and no lollygagging, Herbert called. He climbed back up the steep cement wall of the dam.
Senor Castor helped them collect the materials from the water. Otto formed a raft with the logs, while Senor Castor gathered mud and clay from the river to glue everything together.
Smidge tried to eat some leaves, but quickly spit them out. Otto noticed that Smidge needed a task. Smidge, can you find something to paddle with? Smidge edged around the water carefully, looking for thick wood pieces. Splash! A fish jumped out of the river, spraying her with water. Ack! Smidge shook herself dry and poofed up like a giant cotton ball. Senor Castor surveyed their work as Smidge brought over 2 paddles. That's a beautiful vessel. Nice teamwork. Let's go find Dennis, Otto yelled. They set off with their new friend using his broad, flat tail to steer. Otto paddled with his oar, but Smidge wouldn't get near the water. Smidge, put your oar in the river and paddle with me, Otto tried to motivate his friend. But I might fall in, Smidge protested.
Everyone must do their part, Senor Castor reminded her. Don't be afraid.
Do it for Dennis, Smidge, Otto urged. We'll never find him if we can't paddle this raft. He has lots of snacks, remember? Smidge's eyes lit up, and she dipped her paddle in the water. She copied Otto's movements, and the raft started to speed up. Hey, we're getting it! Smidge squealed.
Keep it up, Senor Castor called. And enjoy the view, my friends. Muy hermoso.
What does that mean? Otto asked. Very beautiful. It's Spanish. Did you know the Colorado River gets its name from the Spanish language? It means red-colored, after the reddish-brown soil and rocks that turned the water red. It doesn't look red now, Otto observed.
That's because after the Glen Canyon Dam was opened in 1966, a lot of the red silt got trapped behind the dam, and the river stopped looking so red, Senor Castor explained.
The dams play a really important part in this river, don't they? Otto realized.
Yes, the Hoover Dam alone generates enough electric power for 1.3 million people in 3 different states, Senor Castor revealed.
Wow! Speaking of power, we need some more, Smidge. I'm going as fast as I can, Smidge whined.
What's that? Senor Castor pointed ahead.
Otto wagged his tail. There was a large group of people along the river's edge, and one of them was a boy with white hair and big glasses. Dennis sat next to Counselor Rachel by the water's edge. She gave him a hug. We called the gas station and there's no sign of Otto. I'm sorry, Dennis. I'm sure he'll turn up soon. Why don't you go fishing with the campers? She suggested. Dennis shook his head. Then, a loud bark rang through the air. Dennis looked up and spotted Otto and Smidge paddling toward the shore on a raft with a beaver. Dennis ran to greet them. Otto, I'm so glad you're okay. He hugged his best friend. I'm sorry I left without you.
It's okay. Smidge and I got to go to Hoover Dam. We met some hard-working sheep, and then we built a raft to ride down the Colorado River with our new friend, Senor Castor. It was an adventure.
Sounds more exciting than my trip so far, Dennis smiled. Hey, where did Smidge go? I caught one, Smidge squealed, a shiny fish in her paws. She took a big bite. Best snack ever. Herbert was right. It's better when you work for it. That was my favorite adventure yet, Otto barked. Ruff, ruff. Dennis grinned. You say that every time, Otto. Time to get back on the bus, Counselor Rachel announced. This time, Dennis added, Otto and Smidge are getting on first. No lollygagging, Smidge ordered. The trio settled in, dug into their snacks, and rolled along the dusty road towards camp.
The end. Wow, I learned a lot from that adventure. You know, the Hoover Dam is really cool and so important to have in Nevada's desert to water crops and make power for electricity. It's an amazing example of what hard work and teamwork can accomplish. Otto! Smidge! Now I know why you two were pretending to paddle around here. You know, I'm proud of the both of you, really. You learned a lot. Good job. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, keep working hard, and keep exploring America. Bye, guys. Hi, welcome. Excuse me. Welcome to Otto's Tales, story time by PragerU Kids. I'm Jill, and you're early, but it's okay. I was trying to finish my snack before getting our story ready for today. Hey, Smidge, listen, they're ready to start the story, and I have all these pretzels. Are you hungry? Yeah, I had a feeling. Hey, Otto. Oh, Otto, chips, huh? Smidge, would you like some of these chips? You know, Smidge, these chips are the best in the whole world. Are you ready for them? Fun little trick, right? Those two. I remember when Otto played that trick on me. Time to read. Let's visit a California mission. Ruff, ruff! Otto barked out the window as the mail truck arrived. Dennis looked up from his reading. I wonder if my books are coming today. At the door, a small, fluffy white kitten was waiting for them, clutching a colorful postcard. You're not the mailman, Otto exclaimed. Smidge laughed. No, but I bet my mail is more exciting. Dennis and Otto peered closer as the kitten proudly showed them what was in her paws. My cousin is visiting Hollywood, California, and she's having a blast. Smidge's eyes sparkled. Her favorite spots are Malibu Beach, Beverly Hills, and the Hollywood sign. I'm dying to see those famous sights. Want to come with me? Sorry, Smidge. Dennis shook his head. I'm working on an important Bible commentary, and I have more reading and writing to do. She pleaded to Otto. Will you come, pretty please? Okay, Smidge, but you have to promise to not get starstruck. Just because these places are famous doesn't mean they're that important. I promise, she agreed. Off to the airport. On the plane, Smidge finished a tiny bag of peanuts. Why did I leave all my usual snacks in the checked luggage? I'm still hungry. Otto nudged her to look out the window. We're almost there. As they landed, the flight attendant announced, Welcome to John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California. Orange County? We're supposed to be in Los Angeles! Smidge panicked. Otto checked their tickets. I think we got on the wrong plane. What about our glamorous adventure? What about Malibu? Smidge cried. We'll find our way, the bulldog assured her. At the baggage claim, their bags weren't there. Smidge, Otto winced. I think our bags made it to LA without us. What are we going to do? Smidge paced. No snacks, no bathing suit, no beach towels. The kitten barged outside. Wait, Smidge! Otto ran after her. She nearly collided with a large brown mule pulling a cart. Whoa, take her easy there, brayed the mule. Mr. Wayne, California tour guide at your service. But my friends call me Duke. Where you headed? Los Angeles, Smidge declared.
My cousin told me about all the famous spots to visit. Duke's head tilted.
Did your cousin tell you about the California missions?
What's a mission? Otto asked.
Duke cleared his throat. The missions are famous. Spanish missionaries created these communities when they first arrived in California hundreds of years ago. They've shaped California's culture, the names of our cities, our food, and more.
If these missions are such a big deal, why aren't they as famous as Hollywood? Smidge asked.
A lot of important people and events from history have been forgotten, Duke said. And a lot of other things become famous for no good reason at all.
Otto and Smidge jumped into the mule's cart.
Well, we love learning about all kinds of history, the bulldog barked.
Could you take us to this mission?
Sure thing, Duke smiled.
Smidge wrinkled her nose. Will there be snacks or a beach?
You'll see, Duke nodded. I take this route every day, Duke shared. It's called El Camino Real, which means the Royal Road. It connects all the missions in the state. In the 1800s, it was a support system for people traveling. It provided shelter and a way to communicate with others.
All? How many missions are there? Otto asked.
21. They're spread out along the coast of California, and you can tell you're on the original road when you see a special bell marker, Duke explained.
Smidge pointed ahead. I see one!
Duke smiled as they passed the metal bell. Almost there.
The wagon creaked to a stop in front of a tan building with a sign on it that read, Mission San Juan Capistrano, founded November 1st, 1776.
Hey! This place was founded the same year as America's birthday, Otto exclaimed.
The two friends leapt from the wagon and waved goodbye to Duke. Above the wooden doors at the entrance, a sleek, muscular cat was humming while cleaning the arch.
Hola, travelers, he purred, sliding down with ease. Welcome. My name is Juan Capistrano, grounds manager of this mission.
I'm Smidge.
The kitten beamed and smoothed down her fur. You have a fabulous name, Juan. Gracias. It comes from San Juan, or St. John of Capistrano, the saint they named this mission after. Who's your friend? I'm Otto, the bulldog barked. Nice to meet you. Right this way, amigos. Juan invited them through the doors. This mission is known as the jewel of the missions, and you'll see why. He led them into a building with a small chapel. Smidge eagerly followed their handsome and charming guide. Welcome to Serra Chapel, Juan announced. Otto marveled at the beautiful religious artwork, but Smidge couldn't take her eyes off Juan. Father Junipero Serra founded this mission with the goal of spreading Christianity to the Native Americans here, Juan explained, pointing to a figure on the golden artwork. He and his fellow padres, or fathers, taught the natives about God, farming, building, and many other important skills for everyday life. Smidge fiddled with her whiskers. You're so smart. Before anyone noticed her blushing, she blurted out, I like farming and food. Can you tell me more about that? Juan smiled and took her by the arm. I have a whole storeroom full of fruits and vegetables grown here. Let me show you. Snacks, Smidge purred. What about the tour? Otto called, sadly watching the kitten skip away with her new friend. He was left all alone. Otto trudged out of the chapel and plopped onto the ground in a quiet courtyard. Whoosh! A flock of birds whisked through the air, startling Otto. A single bird peeled away from the group. Hi! I'm Senor Sarah, the small swallowbird tweeted. What are you doing over here all by yourself? I'm Otto, the bulldog answered. My friend Smidge went off without me. I'm sorry, amigo. She'll be back, I'm sure. When I'm lonely, I find great friends in books, the swallow revealed. Books! Otto's eyes came to life. I love to read. So does my friend Dennis. He reads the Bible a lot. I've come across many Bibles, Senor Serra said excitedly. The mission has many books. The Padres taught the Native Americans their Christian religion, language, and even how to read and play musical instruments. Learning new things is always exciting. Reading gives us knowledge about the world, the bulldog shared. Missions must have been important places for learning. Yes, they were, the swallow chirped. Ding dong! Otto's ears rang. Dinner time, sang Smidge. Otto bounded toward his friend. Where have you been? The kitten led him and Senor Serra to the ruins of a great building where a feast of fresh food awaited them. Please, enjoy this meal in our great stone church, Juan invited. Otto whispered to Smidge, I thought you forgot about me earlier. No way, she exclaimed. Juan leaned forward. Your friend wanted to make something special just for you, Otto. Smidge beamed and presented her dish. A cornbread bone. Wow! Otto's tongue hung out of his mouth. I'm sorry I don't have anything for you. Senor Serra fluttered his wings. Hold on, I have something. He swooped away, and when he returned, a small book was tucked under his wing. Otto and Smidge studied the cover. A recipe book! You can take a taste of the mission home with you, Juan winked. Thank you, Smidge said, grasping the gift. Otto nudged the kitten. Are you sure you don't want to go to Malibu anymore? Nope, I'm happy right here, she assured him. With their bellies full, Otto and Smidge bid goodbye to their new friends. Please visit again soon, Juan politely kissed Smidge's paw. The kitten giggled and followed Otto back to El Camino Real. You know you have crumbs in your whiskers, right? He pointed, amused. What? The kitten wiped her face frantically. Otto chuckled. Let's go home, Saint Smidge of Crumbs. Dennis welcomed the friends home. How was California? We ended up at a California mission in San Juan Capistrano, and it turned out to be a beautiful place with a rich history. We had the best tour guide named Juan. Smidge's eyes sparkled. Otto wagged his tail. I made a new friend too. I also learned that the missions taught important life skills while bringing many people to believe in God. So it wasn't quite the Hollywood experience you were expecting, Dennis said. Smidge shook her head. No, but it helped me see that there's more to California than famous stars and beaches. That was my favorite adventure yet, Otto howled. You say that every time, Otto. Smidge rolled her eyes and opened her recipe book. Now who's hungry? Ruff, ruff. The end. Have you ever visited a California mission? I have. The chapels, the gardens, the stories of the people who live there. Each mission is unique. Now, they aren't only an amazing part of California, but are so special to America. Hey, you two. You both had a great time at San Juan Capistrano, didn't you? Oh, yes. And I see what you have there, Smidge. Do you think I'm still hungry? Yes. Okay, let's open our chips! That never gets old, does it? Very funny. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep learning about all the great places that make America special. Bye-bye. What do you say we get some real chips now? Welcome to Otto's Tales, story time brought to you by PragerU Kids. I'm Jill, and hey, Otto, Smidge, are you two around here? Hi, how are you? Wow, Otto, a present? Is this for me? Wow, this is a surprise. Should I open it now? Okay, let's see what's in here. What is all this stuff? Feathers? Okay, thanks everyone. Here, Smidge, could you hold that for me? Turkey? Gobble, 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 gobble. Okay. What is this all me and rocks? I've always wanted rocks. You two, what is all this stuff? Is this some kind of a joke? I can't figure those two out. You want to read our story? Let's get to reading. Can someone take this, please? Thank you for the gift, Otto. I'll figure it out later. Time to read Otto's Tales. Let's visit Plymouth Rock. Ready? Dennis waved a big, yummy bone above Otto's head. The eager bulldog eyed it, ready to pounce. Dennis wound his arm up and threw it with all his might. Catch! Ruff, ruff! Otto leaped, chasing the bone as it sailed through the air until it went flying over the fence. He skidded to a stop. A familiar fluffy white head popped up, balancing the bone between two perky ears. What do you think of my new bow? Smidge batted her eyelashes. Looks delicious, Otto smiled. Please toss it down. I'll give it back to you after you help me fix my bike. You promised to help me, Otto huffed. I was going to help with your bike, but you didn't help me clean up the kitchen after you made cookies earlier this week. I had to do it all by myself. I'll help next time, the kitten promised. My bike is really important. Dennis overheard. When you promise to help a friend, you need to follow through, he reminded them. You don't help just to get something in return. But it's not fair, Otto protested. Dennis gave his pal a pat. You know, when the Pilgrims first came to America, they had to work together with the Native Americans. It wasn't easy, but they figured it out. You two should learn about them and take a trip to where their friendship started. Plymouth Rock. Smidge grinned. If there are snacks and souvenirs, I'm in. A plane ride, snack stop, and one bus trip later, Otto and Smidge arrived at Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts. The friends peered over the railing and looked down at the large rock in the landing below. Water from Plymouth Harbor lapped against the sand. That's a big rock, Otto exclaimed. And something is written on it. 1620? Smidge pointed. That must be the year the Pilgrims landed here. Otto climbed to the top of the railing to get a better view, but wobbled as he struggled to balance. How do you do this, Smidge? The kitten leaped to Otto's side and curtsied. It's an art, my friend. Otto's paws suddenly slipped. Help! The trusty bulldog went kerplop into the sea below. Smidge giggled. It's not funny, Otto frowned. Help me up. Okay, swim over to the rocks, Smidge instructed. She screamed for help as loud as she could. Just before Smidge lost her voice entirely, a large turkey walked by and clucked. Hey, what are you doing? What's all the noise? My friend fell in the water and I need to get him out. Smidge pointed down to Otto. Goodness gracious! We'd better get him out before he catches a cold. Smidge gratefully followed the turkey to the rocks. It's nice of you to help a stranger. Always happy to assist someone in need, the turkey replied. By the way, I'm Miss May. I'm Smidge, and my friend down there is Otto. Can you help me pull him out? Miss May stretched a feathered wing toward Otto. Pleasure to meet you. Now let me lift you out of there. As the perky turkey tugged on his paws, Otto's hind foot got stuck. The waves swelled. Smidge whimpered. She hated water, but jumped in and shimmied between the rocks to free her buddy. Otto shook himself dry. Thank you, Miss May, and you too, Smidge. I should be more careful. This shore is rough. No wonder the pilgrims marked their spot with a giant rock. Well, Miss May offered, it's uncertain if Plymouth Rock was their actual landing site. There are many stories since the pilgrims didn't document it. The pilgrims first landed at the tip of Cape Cod in November 1620, and they landed here at Plymouth in December that year. I love a good mystery, Otto howled. No matter where the pilgrims landed, the rock is a great marker for such an important journey. Miss May's feathers fluffed. Indeed! They took a long, treacherous boat ride across the ocean to start a new life of freedom. Can you imagine how excited they were when they saw this shore? You know, I am named May after their magnificent ship, the Mayflower. Plymouth Rock would make a great addition to my rock collection. Smidge tapped her chin, thinking. Miss May, may I take a souvenir with me? Smidge bounded back and hopped over the railing into the exhibit. She reached for the rock with her claws extended. Wait! Miss May called. Smidge, this is a special rock, and though you are not the first person to want a piece of it, we have to respect the exhibit. That way, this rock can be preserved for a long, long time. Okay, I understand, Smidge said, disappointed. But, Miss May added, you can find souvenir rocks in our museum. Hear that, Smidge? Otto encouraged. I bet they'll have snacks, too. Smidge perked up. You can also visit the replica village of Plymouth Colony, Miss May said. I have a friend who can show you around. Great! Otto barked. Thanks for all your help, Miss May. Of course, anytime. The turkey fluttered her wing in farewell. Outside the gift shop, Otto lifted Smidge's backpack and groaned. Smidge, what's in here? Rocks, she declared, and rock candy, too. Maybe we should have stopped here last, Otto sighed. Need some help? A deep, bellowing voice offered. I'm Wampanoag, but you can call me Wampo. Surprised, Smidge and Otto stared up at a large wolf. I'm Otto, and this is Smidge, Otto greeted. Are you here to show us the colony? Yes, follow me, Wampo invited. There's a lot of history here. Otto and Smidge followed Wampo to a grassy area with old wooden houses. This is what Plymouth Colony would have looked like, Wampo explained. The Pilgrims came here with little, so they learned to use resources around them to live. Their first winter here was hard, with unexpected illness and death, so they made friends with the Native Americans in the area, the Wampanoag. I'm proud to share a name with a great tribe of people. The natives taught the Pilgrims how to survive, and the Pilgrims provided friendship and support in case of enemy threats. It looks like they all needed each other. Smidge noticed baskets and tools around the village. Exactly. They worked together and shared. You may know the famous celebration between these two groups of people. Wampo smiled. He pointed to a large table set for a meal. Thanksgiving! Otto chimed in. Wampo nodded. Correct! They gathered and feasted for 3 days to thank God for a successful harvest. Many years later, America's leaders declared this event a national holiday.
We should have our own feast right now.
Smidge grabbed her bag and unloaded her snacks onto the table.
Wampo, please join us.
You're very kind, but it'll be dark soon. I need to head back home, and you two should do the same, Wampo recommended.
But there's still so much left to see, Smidge protested. We'll stay a bit longer.
We'll finish soon, Otto agreed. Thank you, Wampo. Enjoy the rest of your time at Plymouth, Wampo winked, waving goodbye.
Smidge and Otto wandered further into the village and discovered a beautiful trail. The sky glowed as the sun began to set.
Smidge, Otto warned. It might get dark soon. We should head back.
Time sure flies when you're having fun, the kitten agreed.
They started walking back, but soon began running. The light was fading quickly. Hurry, Otto urged. Smidge picked up her pace, but then tripped over a branch. Her heavy backpack brought her smack down to the ground. Ouch! My leg! She wailed. Can you walk? Otto tried to stay calm. Smidge shook her head. It was nearly dark. Otto looked around. There was no one in sight. He then remembered what his new friends told him that day about helping others.
I've got you, Smidge.
Otto lifted his tiny friend and her bag onto his back. Smidge clung to his neck. Thank you, Otto. That's what friends are for, the bulldog smiled. By the time they made it back to the museum, it was completely dark. Smidge winced in pain. I won't be riding my bike anytime soon. Or playing catch, Otto added. What will we do? Smidge wondered. I've got a few ideas, Otto reassured her. But first, let's get back to Dennis. Otto and Smidge returned home to Dennis reading in the backyard. Did you have a successful trip? He asked. We did, Otto replied. Plymouth Colony is an amazing example of America's values, bravery, and hard work. And Smidge and I learned to help each other too. We need one another, just like the Pilgrims and natives did. Smidge revealed her newfound treasures. We even brought you a souvenir. Thanks, Dennis's eyes lit up. Oh, wait, those are my candy rocks. Smidge quickly sorted her goods. Here are the real rocks. That was my favorite adventure yet, Otto barked. You say that every time, Otto, Dennis laughed. Ruff, ruff! Otto fixed Smidge's bike. He then scooped her into the basket and gave her a ride around the yard until Dennis called them in for dinner. The end. Wow! Plymouth Rock is such a unique and special place that reminds us what bravery and hard work can accomplish if people work together. You know, there wouldn't be a United States of America, or a Thanksgiving for that matter, if the Pilgrims never took the journey to get here. Otto, Smidge! Hi, you two! Listen, I understand your surprise for me now. The feathers, the turkey, the rocks. It was all about Plymouth Rock and this story of Thanksgiving. My one question is, if we're talking about Thanksgiving, where's the pie? Right? I mean, pie, Thanksgiving. If you're having Thanksgiving, you need pie. Pie is the center of Thanksgiving pie. Good boy, Otto. Man, I can always depend on you. Hey, wait. Prayers first. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep having fun learning all about America's most special places. Bye, guys. You want some? All right. Okay, now. Welcome to Otto's Tales. I'm Jill, and today I'm sharing a story that takes place in one of the most beautiful parts of America, a place that many of you might have already visited. Otto, Smidge! Hi, you two. Hey, what do you have here? These are clues about where our story takes place, right? Okay, should we show them? Yes. We have a pineapple. See if you can guess. And oh, this is a fun one. A seashell. I can hear the ocean. Can you? Yes. Oh, of course, we have a beautiful flower lei. Does this look familiar? Very pretty smidge. And a pearl. I know what we're reading about today. Now, this story is a most important and meaningful story, something that all Americans should learn about, even you. Now, can you take these things back to the kitchen? Thank you. While I get our story ready to read. Thank you. Okay, see you too soon. Time to read Otto's Tales. Let's visit Pearl Harbor National Memorial. Steady. Dennis carefully glued a new piece onto his battleship replica. Ruff! That looks so real! Otto watched his best friend. What's it for? It's a gift for my dad, Dennis replied. He served in World War II with the Navy, so he spent a lot of time on ships like this one. Two fluffy, perky ears popped in from around the door. Smidge grinned, fresh crumbs in her whiskers. Is it arts and crafts time? The kitten bounded in and started digging through Dennis's supplies. Smidge, I need all of this for my battleship, Dennis explained. The kitten ignored him and fiddled with some string. I could make a necklace. A necklace is much prettier than a ship. I promise I'll only use a few things. Dennis sighed. All right, let me see if I can find more supplies. Otto settled next to Smidge. Who's your necklace for? For me, she exclaimed. The kitten spotted something shiny on Dennis's desk behind the replica. That's perfect! Reaching over quickly, Smidge bumped the battleship and snap! A small piece broke off. Oh no! She panicked. Help me fix it before Dennis comes back. Me? Otto gasped. Don't get me involved. I didn't break it. This is your problem. Please, the kitten begged. I can't tell where this piece goes. I don't know anything about ships. Otto pointed to a photo. Well, Dennis was building that ship. Smidge studied the picture. It says this is the USS Missouri in Pearl Harbor. Oh, I can get pearls for my necklace. The bulldog shook his head. Or you could find the actual ship and figure out which part broke. You're right, the kitten nodded. Let's go before Dennis comes back. This sounded more fun than taking a plane, but there's a lot of water down there. Smidge trembled as they paraglided over the Pacific Ocean. Look, Otto pointed. We're almost to the island of Oahu. Isn't Hawaii beautiful? Smidge peered down at the harbor. I see all sorts of ships. Perfect for our mission. How do we land this thing? Slowly, Otto assured her. Suddenly, a gust of wind pushed them straight toward a white building that appeared to be floating. Hang on, the bulldog yelled. He steered the paraglider toward an opening in the roof, but they got stuck. Instantly, they were swarmed by a flock of geese. Don't worry, remain calm, we're here to help. The birds chattered all at once. Smidge hugged the nearest bird. Thank you! I'm Smidge and this is Otto. You saved our lives. You're welcome, one of the geese piped in. I'm Kenneth, Kenny for short. My brothers and I are Nenes, the state bird of Hawaii. Welcome to Pearl Harbor National Memorial. What is this memorial for? Otto asked. A great tragedy in our American history, Kenny said. During World War II, Japanese forces attacked this naval base on December 7th, 1941. It was shocking, and many Americans were killed. You're right above the sunken hull of the USS Arizona. This ship is the final resting place for over 1,000 sailors and Marines. Terrible tragedy, Kenny's brothers echoed. That sounds so scary, Otto said. It was, Kenny agreed. My brothers and I are all named after the brave men who jumped into action to save lives. Samuel, Peter, and George are heroes who helped people escape and fight back. My namesake, Kenneth Taylor, was one of the first pilots to get flying and shoot down enemy planes. Kenny led them to a wall with the names of the fallen. We honor everyone who came together during this crisis and sacrificed everything. Otto peered into the ocean. I can't believe that such a big, powerful ship could sink. Smidge tiptoed to the railing. What's that dark stuff in the water? That's the ship's oil, Kenny answered. It still leaks to this day. We call these leaks the tears of the Arizona. The kitten gasped. How sad! She clutched the broken piece from Dennis's replica. I hope the USS Missouri didn't sink. My friend is trying to fix a broken battleship replica, Otto told Kenny. Could you help her? Kenny huddled with his brothers to discuss. We don't know much about ship parts, he admitted, but we have a friend who does. The geese flew away, honking. FDR! Aloha! A sleek dolphin sprung out of the water toward the friends. Finna Delano Rose, at your service. FDR to my friends. I'm Otto, and this is Smidge. Isn't there someone famous who also went by FDR? Yes! President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Finna's eyes lit up. He led America in the fight against Japan after the attack on Pearl Harbor, which got the United States involved in World War II. President Roosevelt gave a famous speech that called this event a date which will live in infamy. That must have been a scary time, Otto observed. Yes, the dolphin bobbed her nose. Not only were our own people threatened, but people in Europe needed America's help to defeat the German Nazis and other enemies who wanted to spread their evil ideas, she continued. A few weeks after the attack here, 134,000 Americans joined the military to fight and help win the war. That many people stepped up? Smidge was amazed. And many more got involved throughout the war too, Finna added. Otto pondered this. Smidge, I can't help but think how I didn't want to get involved with your problem of fixing Dennis's battleship. I should have been nicer about helping you. We both want Dennis's dad to have a great gift, and that's more important than who broke it. Smidge's eyes glistened. I shouldn't have been so careless with the ship in the first place. Thank you for being such a supportive friend. Otto smiled. That's what friends are for. Now, the USS Missouri has to be around here somewhere. Finna twirled in the sea. I know where it is. Hop on. Let's go for a ride. Splash! Bouncing in the waves, Smidge nudged Otto. That's it! The USS Missouri! A huge battleship loomed in front of them. This ship was still being built when Pearl Harbor was attacked, Finna shared, swimming closer. But it was on this ship that the Japanese surrendered in Tokyo Bay at the end of the war in 1945. Thanks to America's help, the Allies were finally victorious. What a historic moment! Otto admired the ship. People were grateful for peace after so much war, Finna added. As they circled the vessel, Smidge held up the tiny battleship piece. The bulldog pointed. Look! I see it! Smidge squealed. It's a gun from the ship's defenses right up there. Now I know exactly how to fix the replica. Amazing! Finna splashed her tail, soaking the friends. Smidge cried out as her paws slipped and the ship piece went plink, disappearing into the ocean. No! Don't worry, I've got it. Finna dove down while Smidge and Otto paddled in the water.
When their friend returned, she had the small piece and something shiny in her mouth, too. "What's that?" Otto asked. Smidge's eyes sparkled. "A pearl! Something to remind you to always treasure the strength and sacrifice of our people," Finna shared. "Thank you, I'll never forget it." Smidge accepted the treasure. Back at Dennis's house, Smidge and Otto raced inside. Just as they were gluing the broken piece back on the ship, Dennis entered with a box full of art supplies. "Hey, where did you two disappear to?" he asked. Smidge blushed. "I accidentally broke your replica, so Otto and I went to Pearl Harbor to see the real ship and figure out how to fix the broken piece." Otto jumped in. "We learned about the memorial honoring everyone who died during the Japanese attack and how America got involved in World War II because of that event." Otto stood up tall. "When faced with a crisis, we don't back down. Americans protect our people and others who need our help." "I am sorry I thought my project was more important than yours," Smidge apologized to Dennis. "Can Otto and I help you finish your gift for your dad?" Dennis pulled his friends close. "You bet! It'll be so much better if we work together." "That was my favorite adventure yet," Otto barked. "You say that every time, Otto," Smidge laughed. As the trio put the finishing touches on the replica, Smidge revealed her new pearl and glued it to the tippy top of the miniature mast on the ship. Perfect! "Now, how to wrap this?" Dennis looked at his friends for ideas. Smidge grabbed the supply box. "I'll only use a few things, I promise." Ruff, ruff. The end. Did you guess Hawaii? I had a feeling you did. You too. What did you think of the story? My thoughts exactly. Pearl Harbor is a very special place to remember and honor everyone who helped on that most important day when it was attacked. Hawaii and the people who live there are a very special part of our United States. And hey, do you know the special word that they use in Hawaii to mean hello and goodbye? Aloha, that's right. And now it's time for us to say goodbye. Thank you for watching Otto's Tales. Check out some of our other stories too. Keep reading, keep watching, and keep learning all about the great places that make America special. Aloha! Mwah.
Thank you for watching. You know we've got more episodes, right? Watch the whole series on our website. And parents, you can subscribe at PragerUkids.com.